I'm Jim O'Day, and I am a third-generation owner of O'Day Equipment. The business was started by my grandfather, Leo, in 1935. 1935 was not the best time to start a business, right in the midst of the Depression, but he had a product to sell, and he went on the road, and soon after he discovered that if he was going to sell gas pumps, he needed to have people to install them and to service them and parts to support them. Down in Minneapolis, Aero Tank was building submarine net buoys to hold up submarine nets protecting harbors. And they hydro tested them, and many of them failed. And they loaded them up on gondola cars and brought them to Fargo, unloaded them over there by NP Avenue and 2nd Street, and patched them up, and had a carpenter build stands for them, and they converted them into farm gasoline tanks for the farms. And so we've been building tanks since the 1970 was probably the first completed tank, although we tried to build them in '69, but really got it done in '70.
I'm Dan Logering, current president of O'Day Tank and Steel. I've been here with the company for 32 years. My current transition here started in 1993. Came on board to work for my father, Paul Logering, as a draftsman. At the time, we had all just paper drawings and vellums. Everything was done by hand and pencil, and it was time to kind of develop the CAD side of the tanks and get all of our standard drawings on the computer. And eventually, my dad was getting ready to retire over at the tank plant, and I chose to come back to the manufacturing side. So it's kind of a round-robin story. It's where I started. I really enjoy the manufacturing side and just building stuff. So right now we're offering a fair variety of tanks, from a 300-gallon single wall, what we would consider a farm tank, on up to a 42,000-gallon vertical tank. Could be holding pretty much any liquid, from liquid fertilizers, avgas, jet fuel, regular auto gas, diesel, and also some more specialty style tanks where we'll get into, it's all fluid storage, but it might be an oil for a dust suppression system. We're licensed through the Steel Tank Institute for a flame shield, a fire guard. We build API 12F for the oil field. We build API 650 for more industrial type tanks. So with those different varieties, we can cover pretty much any storage need that's out there. We're primarily a carbon steel shop, so it is a low carbon. We build with A36 steel, and we'll stack shells together, manually tack them on the inside, and pre-weld the inside seam. Put the top and the bottom on the tank while it's still in that station, and then we lift it down to one of our two sub-arc machines. The welder sits in a buggy on top, and he controls the welds to do all of that external. Also in that station, that's where we cut all the holes. So once all the holes are cut, we move it around into our finishing stations, and that's where they're going to put all the fittings in. They're going to weld on the inside, weld the outside, put the manways in, and then we do an air check of the tank. We have two people. Every weld seam is tested twice, and we're literally looking for bubbles. The tank is prepped either with a solvent wiped down, or it'll be sandblasted, and then we'll do a prime coat, top coat, do all the decals on it, put any fittings that might need a vent or an emergency vent. We screw all those on here, and then we set it out in the yard and it's ready to ship at that point. It just makes the in-field installation so much easier. When the installers get out there, they're literally just bolting stuff together rather than cutting and threading and welding in the field. Makes for a much higher quality installation in the field. We pride ourselves in really turning out a good product. We take care to look over all of our welds, we deslag everything. We are very conscious when we paint to make sure that all of our corners are stripe coated. So we're actually taking, before we spray them, we'll take a brush and go over all the corners and all the parts that we know a spray paint won't get into. Shipping wise, we can ship coast to coast. We've shipped tanks from Washington to Florida. We've had a couple go up to Alaska. So we, about a year ago, installed a 2-component epoxy system, and instead of mixing it at the gun, it actually pre-mixes it about halfway down the line. We're better usage of the paint, so our environmental impact is a lot less. We don't have nearly the solvent disposal that we used to. Everything we do here is manual, so it's a physical human welder taking the stick, taking the gun, and making those welds.
I've been at it for 50 years. I started when I was, a teenager, working at the city desk of all places. And when I when I got a driver's license, they let me drive trucks around. My dad asked me if I would stick around for a summer and help him out. And I think that was the summer of 1975. My son Dan, he grew up in the business too.
So my name is Dan O'Day, 4th generation operator of O'Day Equipment and O'Day Tank and Steel, and I'm currently the president and CEO of our operation. At a young age, got to have some of the first jobs destroying tanks we bring in, cleaning them out, getting ready to go to recyclers. Get a little bit older and get out of the just summer job routine. I started to get on the road doing construction across the Midwest, down to Iowa, Nebraska area, out to Montana, building stations. Got a good firsthand experience on what goes into building a C-store, bulk plant, your truck stops, you name it. So I really like the fact we're a family business, and right now that's our legacy. There isn't a whole lot of family businesses or in the same capacity as what we are in the size we are. I have 2 young boys growing up, and I always wonder if they'll want to get in the business or not, or have other interests that they may want to pursue. So I always want to keep it with the family atmosphere or the private atmosphere. Don't want to see us lose our identity of being our own bosses, our own operators. I think that's something that makes us special. If there's something we want to do, we just do it.
So a lot of our customers are family orientated, and a lot of our big customers, although they're not family operations, they were started by a family, so they all have that at their roots.
The service is really driving the business on the day-to-day customer relationship, so they're calling the people that can take care of them and they can rely on, and will respond. We do have many personal relationships with customers, just as good relationships, working relationships, or friends. Though the amount of technology has really increased since 1995, and the workload's increased, and having good service and the appropriate level of service personnel in the field has been a big focus. It does come with a lot of benefits as well. You got a lot of experience stacked that you built on. So really value that. That's probably one of the reasons we're successful in the fourth generation business.
I mean, some absolutely superb people in the company today. They're all very focused, and they're in the pursuit of excellence every day. I think they've got I think the company has a future. The focus on service is what'll keep us in business. Bringing on new products for our customers will keep us in business. I've enjoyed my career here, and as long as they don't kick me out and let me come in every day, I'll keep coming. So.